I'm Peter Oppen with reNewable Now, and I am here at the Compost Trade Show at the Johnson & Wales Harborside campus in Providence, Rhode Island. And we have had a wonderful time coming back this year, 2013, to try to find out what are the changes going on? What's the new technology? Who are the new companies? How are we going to take compost from the landfill and divert it into places where it can go to farms, where it can go into energy? And we have found some amazing stories, amazing people, amazing technology. You want to see more? Stay tuned. Peter Oppen of reNewable Now, and I am here with
Greg Gerritt. I am the coordinator of the Compost Initiative in Rhode Island.
We've had a wonderful time being here. Greg, tell us some of the goals and how they're coming together today.
Well, one of the goals is to have a trade show so that people who are in the industry get to talk to people and maybe find some customers. That's always a good thing. Yeah. We're going to talk about policy, what we need to do to change policy in Rhode Island around compostables. We're going to have some great talks. We just had a great keynote from Gretel Clark, who started the program in Hamilton, Massachusetts. We're going to have government officials, people in the industry. We're going to have some great workshops right now.
You've been doing this how long?
This is our 4th year of doing this Compost Conference. Every year's been different. Every year's been at a different place. But we finally feel like we've got a system down, and it's looking good.
And you're feeling as though, obviously, you're building momentum. One of the things that's clear to us as we go around, we talk to a lot of your exhibitors, is there's almost going to be unbelievable demand for waste going forward.
There is, the momentum is there. It is time, it's an idea whose time has come. And, you know, even under those circumstances, it takes time. There's still some things to work out in terms of rules and regulations in Rhode Island. But yeah, it's going to happen. And there's going to, we need the compost if we're going to have an agricultural renaissance.
We heard that Massachusetts 2014 will not allow compostable material to go to the landfill. They're going to ban it. Do you see that happening in Rhode Island?
Connecticut's doing the same thing in the next few years. Rhode Island, I had a hearing this week, and they're talking about setting up a solid waste commission. They're talking about an organics commission. It's going to take us a few years, but yeah, we're going to get there.
And do you have everybody you need in place now on the state level? Do you have suppliers? Do you have the political will? Do you have the things in place? I mean, because you have pretty ambitious goals as to what level of composting happens in this state.
I don't think everything's in place yet.
What's missing?
I haven't thought about it well enough to know what's missing yet. I do know we're making serious progress. That I think that we need to do some work at the legislature. You know, the legislature's a key. There's not enough of an industry yet, so we're a little bit behind the curve on that. But it's getting there, and you know, I never can tell you how fast, but we're going to get there.
Well, we enjoy being here. We see tremendous momentum, meet some wonderful people, the colleges, the universities, the people that are supporting what's going on, municipalities, and certainly we have the same ambitions, right, to see the landfills not fill up, to see the right kind of waste management where certain things are diverted for energy and certain things for farming and organics. At the end of the day, ultimately composting, what happens? Does most of it stay local? Does it go to farms? What happens?
At this point, most of it ends up in the landfill, but hopefully someday it will all get composted in a variety of ways, and it will get back to the land locally. Some of it will go into the commercial markets. I really can't tell you.
Even though we are a technology company, we're an information technology business, we're an IT services company, we're really in the people business.
While we're in the IT services industry, we're really a people company by choice.
Atreon culture is people. It is the family. It is this group that are coming together to do great things.
I'm Peter Oppen, and I am here with
Matt Zajac.
And Jim Joyce.
And you are with Waste Management?
Yes, sir.
And we're the organics. I'm the organics rep for Waste Management Boston.
and I am the Southern New England Education Solutions representative for waste management.
Wow, that's a lot to remember. I'm glad I didn't have to introduce you. What's your intent here in being at the Compost event?
We're here today just to represent waste management and kind of show them some of the services and types of offerings that we have as a company that can be placed with not only companies but also with school districts and also with municipalities.
And I know when we talked before, you said there's a little bit of a misconception about your company. You're not just a waste hauler.
We're a commodities manager. We're in the business of trying to bring sustainable materials to our facilities and bring them out back into the market to recycle them to keep keep them into the economy, into the commodities field.
And tell us a little bit about your technology and what makes you good at either single stream or doing a great job of taking a ton of waste and making sure there's not a lot of waste or things that are not recycled and so forth.
Well, we've invested a lot of money and time in purchasing the latest technologies at our MRFs or materials reclamation facilities. And what we use sorting systems, we use blowers, we use magnets, we use eddy currents, because it's really, we found that by single streaming everything, putting everything in one single recyclable container, it's easier for the consumer, it's easier in terms of collection, and really by doing that through economies of scale, we can take the cost and lower it to the consumer, being either a municipality or also a company.
The thing that's interesting to us, so we've been studying obviously waste and waste reduction, what's going on at landfills, obviously taking things out of landfills, but also what's going on there in terms of generating energy, right? Methane and things like that. Do you have some experience, and can you generate energy as an example from compost?
Yeah, so what we do with the compost material is we churn it and create a slurry out of this. And this material goes into anaerobic digesters where bacteria eat it, put off a methane that is then burned and is sold back into the grid as electricity.
Is the simple answer then for residential and business, corporate, that there's a lot more that can be done with a company like yours to do a better job of separating or recycling or reusing?
I think we've done a good job staying ahead of the curve. We've spent millions and millions of dollars partnering with different technologies, different companies, looking for solutions, whether it be technologies to reduce, technologies to reutilize stuff that's very difficult to get rid of. We've done a lot of stuff with companies like Agilix and other companies that are looking for new ways to make fuels. So anything that we can do to lower the impact on a landfill is really at our forefront right now.
And final question is really, so what's the benefit? I know here at this conference, a lot of it is talking about composting and taking those scraps, not getting them to the landfill. What's the ultimate benefit to keeping those out of the landfill?
Well, there's only so much landfill space. New landfills are not being opened. So what we need to do is find a new home for these materials that are not recyclable in the commodities type of way, but reusable in an organic way. Over 70% of the materials can be diverted from landfills, and that should be the focus of municipalities and businesses alike, is to divert as much as possible from the landfills.
That's a good number. We want to take time to thank our many sponsors who, along with you, our viewer, continue to make this show possible. Together with the Arpin Group, Cardi's Furniture, Atreon, Rhode Island College, Handy Law, Merrill Lynch, and Ocean State Financial, and our newest partner, WB Mason, we have taken a great ride in 2012 across many cities and towns to major events and have built our global audience using newspapers, radio, TV, and the web to over 200,000 listeners and viewers per month. We've done that by being graced with great guests, including governors and senators, government leaders, and true pioneers and innovators at schools, nonprofits, businesses, and on the streets of our cities and our towns. As reNewable Now continues to grow locally, regionally, and across the globe, We'd like other sponsors to join as partners and share in our success. If you want to promote across the booming green economy with a platform like no other, please contact us by emailing our staff at fiscalrecordings@cox.net or call our co-producer and head of business development, Anne-Marie Fisk, at 401-603-2097. You can find the same information at our website as well. We are helping to transform the world. We'd love to do the same for you and for your organization. We are Renewable Now, the business side of green. I am here with
John Clifford from Focus Sustainability Consulting Group.
John. Good to see you today here at the Compost event in Providence, Rhode Island. Tell us about your company.
Well, my company is Focus Sustainability Consulting Group, and we are a waste consulting company, which we go into companies and look at their waste streams and find ways to reduce their waste stream, and hopefully, put them into a recycling stream or some way to reuse them.
How does that help them?
Well, it helps them reduce their hauling tipping fees, and it just helps them be more environmentally friendly.
So how do you do that? You identify materials that can come out of the what's going to go over to the landfill, and you get that to be recycled and then recycled at a certain rate. How do you do that?
Well, that's exactly right. The first step in the process is a waste audit. We go in, we basically compile all their waste streams or look at all their waste streams, just kind of figure out what's going where, how it's going, how it's being managed internally, externally, and then talk to the folks on the ground and find out what can be done differently. Based on our knowledge, we make recommendations to them and find different a recycling stream for something that they were told couldn't be recyclable, or just any type of recycling.
Sure, they can compost. They can look at creating energy. Now, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing behind us here.
Okay, this is a vertical growing system from Sun State Organics. They're based out of Ocala, Florida. We're a distributor for them. What this is, it's a vertical growing system. It can be done hydroponically or with soil. It's a system that can be expanded to really any scale. This is this is what's called our mini. It's more for a urban area, somebody with a small patio with not a lot of yard. They can put it, but we can also expand it exponentially, to really any scale. So we could fill this gymnasium with poles, with induction lighting and heat lamps, and really grow as much food as we need for any type of.
So what's the advantage? Is that you're controlling the environment better, that you can grow in places you normally can't? What's the economic financial advantage?
Well, the economic financial advantage is we can take what you could normally grow in 10 square feet, we can grow in 1 square feet. So you grow exponentially. The financial advantage is you have locally grown food, which you have control over. You know where it came from. It's 100% organic, because on the front end of our system there's a in-vessel composter that it'll compost the feedstock to a certain point of weed kill and pathogen kill, and then from there the feedstock, it's not finished compost at that point, but at that point it goes into a vermicomposting system, and then we harvest the worm castings, mix it with our soil, with a soil, a high-grade soil, put it in these pots that you see, or these grow bags, and then we use 90% less water. As you can see on these systems here, there's little emitters here that you can control exactly how much water, when it's going to be watered. You can put these things into a little solar system, so if they're outside, they turn on a timed basis. So each bag or each pole gets the same amount of daylight or sunlight, or what type of lighting.
Last question, real quick. What is the starting price for something like this?
Something like this for your home base, you're looking at under $400.
Terrific.
Cardi's is focused to give you a better night's sleep
by working with those who have the same goal.
Like our nation's most recognized sleep specialist, Dr. Bruce.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Bruce. I'm here at Cardi's personally training Nairobi's team to assess your sleep habits and needs. focusing on my 4 tenets of better sleep: thermoneutrality, balance of pressure, complete relaxation, and tranquil sleep, all of which will help you get a better night's rest.
Enjoy an introductory free Dr. Bruce box spring, Cardi's Furniture.
reNewable Now, I am here with.
Christian and Jemmy. Amber Edwards with Skip Shapiro Enterprises.
Tell us about your company.
We are an organic solutions company. We have a high solids anaerobic digester that is going into the Johnson, Rhode Island area, and we're working on collecting food waste and turning that into energy in this area.
So explain to us in simple terms how all that works and what does it mean?
Well, it means that we're going to try to work with the city, schools, hospitals to collect their food waste. We're going to work on implementing the program, and we're just going to take it into the digester, turn it into methane, and then we'll get our energy out.
So the economics are really good. You take it out of the landfill.
Absolutely. And it's cheaper than the landfill. It's a little bit cheaper than composting. We're trying to be comparable.
And the good thing is that we have Johnson & Wales on board, so if we can get other colleges on board, that will work well.
Well, you could do Rhode Island College with us because that's one of our partners and our sponsors, and they are all about green. Wonderful green team. Are there other things that your company does?
Yeah, we do animal feed, we do ethanol, we do bioplastics, bioenergy. We pretty much do anything other than landfill. We're the competition.
And you're here today, Providence, Rhode Island, at the Compost event. What's your goal? What's your intent?
Actually, I came to help Amber because I wasn't involved in the original digester installation for Johnston. I'm a customer service rep, the only one in Massachusetts. So it was more to get a feel of what was happening in Rhode Island because I am so close. Yep. So I can be available if any need be.
And Amber, what's your goal today?
Well, I'd like to meet with some companies who produce the food waste that I could talk to and see if I can work out a collection program with them and kind of give them pricing and see where we can go in the future. I also know that Boston, Massachusetts in general, is closing down food waste going to their landfill in 2014. So
meaning it can't go there?
They will not be able to landfill food in 2014. Oh. And that's why this digester is so great because we can bring product in from Boston areas also.
What timing for that? And I wonder if a Rhode Island or other parts of New England would follow suit. Do you end up working with large businesses at all? I mean, Johnson & Wales makes sense. We know what they do. Absolutely. But do you end up working with large? I work with
some of the largest food and beverage manufacturers in the country. I work with hospitals. I work with municipalities like schools.
We actually do a lot of full beverage destruction also, so any used product, energy drinks, soup, anything like that. I don't think we could say our customer names, but pretty much a large base of popular drinks and foods. And so we make sure that we take care of that, and a lot of it goes to the animal feed.
Even though we are a technology company, we're an information technology business, we're an IT services company, we're really in the people business.
While we're in the IT services industry, we're really a people company by choice.
Atrion culture is people. It is the family. It is this group that are coming together to do great things.
I'm Peter Oppen with reNewable Now, and I am here with
Gretel Clark.
And you delivered a very nice keynote speech here at the Compost event here in Providence, Rhode Island. What was your base message today?
Well, it was basically to describe how our town of 7,000 plus residents,
which is Hamilton?
Which is Hamilton, Massachusetts, a small rural town, semi-rural, north of Boston, has become the first town to provide its citizens, its households, with weekly curbside composting. And what its effect was on our trash bill, like cutting it in half.
So for the residents there, you've got to 100% compost?
We are probably somewhere between 50 and 60% voluntarily now participating. All the residents have been given green bins, 13-gallon green bins to take out to their curb weekly, and countertop collectors, they're 2-quart countertop collectors, for free. And the pickup is free. I mean, they're not charged anything. What they are charged for is anything more than what amounts to, we have solid waste pickup only every other week. So we're motivating people to get rid of that smelly stuff every week. And then they can put their solid waste out on the off week. But it amounts to about 15 gallons per household, per week for each household now of solid waste. Otherwise, they have to pay for it.
And you've been able to reduce their bills, their cost of waste, the town's cost
by half.
That's fantastic in a very short period of time. What happens to the compost?
The compost goes to a local composter, Brick Ends Farm, which happens to be in our town. This is a composter that uses windrows, and it's a fairly large operation. He processes, I don't know, something like 150 tons annually of compost.
So how were you able to pull it together? I mean, what were the ingredients and what would it take? We have ambitious plans here in Rhode Island to try to do this on a statewide basis. What does it take? What elements did you bring together?
Well, if I were advising Rhode Island, I would say get your legislators to raise the tipping fee for solid waste. If towns are paying your low rate currently of $32 a ton to tip their solid waste, there's not going to be very big savings. There's no town in Massachusetts whose tipping fees are lower than $60 a ton.
Changes the economics fast.
Definitely does. Our town pays $70, and next year it'll be $72 a ton. So to cut our solid waste in half by increasing recycling and getting people to compost, it's very easy to cut our trash bill in half.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a 600-pound gorilla, able to pack any home in a single move. Look, pulling up to our house. It's a delivery. It's a truck. No, son, that's the Arpin Moving Guy. An advanced mover from the Arpin Group, sent to defeat rogue movers and moving giants that provide bad home moves. He delivers customer satisfaction, quality work, and award-winning service. For a super move, call Arpin at 800-343-3500 or visit arpin.com. The Moving Guy, saving the world from bad moves, one customer at a time.
So what are your closing thoughts today from the 2013 Compost event here at Johnson & Wales? Mine come down to talking to Greta, looking at our neighbors in Massachusetts, looking at a town that's done an amazing job in a short period of time of diverting compost away, obviously, from the landfill, away from the tipping fees, and in the process has not only made it easier and better for the residents to get rid of the stinky stuff, as she said, every week and not every 2 weeks, but to save the town 50%. That is the essence of what we want to find here. We want to find the economics, the financial gain, the investments, and the returns in changing our habits and how we handle not only waste, but every part of our life to make a sustainable difference. I'm Peter Arpin for reNewable Now, the show that brings you the business side of green.